Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to Farming Simulator 22, and we are here on Kubota Farm in East Vineland, New Jersey, still pushing our way through early harvest season. Hope you're all having a great start to your week. Tuesday, Platinum Pack DLC release. Ooh, big day for Giants, I guess, huh? Big day for Farming Simulator community. Do you have your pack? Did you download it? Did you buy it? Have you already started playing some of it, testing out equipment, looking at all the goodies? I have not. By the time you listen to this, I'm recording this Monday evening, so it's prior to, and I should be at work on Tuesday. And when I get home, I will most certainly take a look at it. But if you are checking it out, I hope you're enjoying it. Hope it's as good as what I'm hearing, at least from watching the videos that I've been seeing online for the people that got those YouTubers who got the early release. Pretty cool. Kind of exciting to see that it looks like some of the things that we were wondering about physics-wise and stuff, it looks like it's paying off, so that's pretty cool. Looks like Giants has made some interesting modifications and made things a little bit, with the logs, a little bit easier to handle. Definitely a step in the right direction, I would say. You all know how I feel about the game when in regards to physics and stuff. I would just love to see a little bit more attention paid to those kind of tweaks and stuff than some other things. But you know what? I'm not on that team. I don't make the decisions. I just enjoy the product. So here's my thought on this. Let me get you up to speed real quick too on something. I actually finished. We combined fields 8 and 9, and on the last episode, I believe, and I went ahead and finished cultivating that giant field there. So that is taken care of. It's actually ready for planting, but I haven't done any seeding yet or anything because just looking at our calendar, we really don't have a ton of options right now for planting. We're kind of stuck with poplar, grass, and oilseed radish. So I'm kind of holding out for August, and I figured we could do a big field of canola if we wanted to, um, or we can wait yet another month and go with wheat and wheat barley and still fit in canola if we so choose. I'm kind of thinking for this field, it looks like a good corn field to me. So I was thinking we'd do some corn on this field and figure out what we want to do from there. If we want to just harvest it and have corn for like doing some crack corn and stuff, or if we want to do some chaff and put it in our bunkers for silage. Let's have to wait and see. But I thought this just looks like a cornfield, doesn't it? I don't know. To me, it kind of does. I kind of wish we owned that one too, so we could join them. But we will own that field one day or another. But let's get to work. This thing here, I was thinking let's just set off a hired helper and get him started on this corner, and then we will jump in the other Kubota. I think I've got an M6 down there that I brought over with our power harrow, and we'll start in the other corner and meet somewhere in the middle, I would guess. Interestingly enough, I was doing a little bit of, well, I wouldn't say testing, but just curiosity seeking. And on this field here, what was I going to look at here? I was going to show you. You can see that seed bed, how it made a seed bed here where we where we plowed or cultivated and combined the fields. And this is where I think the trail was that was going down the middle. And then getting rid of the seed bed, though, it's not showing cultivated, which I thought was really interesting because I used a cultivator on that, but it shows, I think it's stubble tillage. Hmm. So that's showing as stubble tillage, and this is now showing as stubble tillage, which I guess, let me hop out here, which I guess kind of makes sense because there is stubble here. We could actually mulch, I would guess. Maybe we should be mulching this into the ground. That might give us, does that give us I'm thinking somewhere in precision farming I heard that it gives us additional, if you mulch, it adds to the what am I saying? To the nitrogen, right? It acts as fertilizer. But I don't think we have a mulcher. At least I don't think we do. Owned. We have a disc harrow, a plow. We've got a power harrow, which is what I'm going to be using. But I don't think we have a mulcher. And I was thinking that a mulcher on this field might give us, well, it might give us some fertilization. Let me know in the comments if that is correct. I think that's right. I think Driver 53 did a video or two on that, and he, I thought, came out with that it gave some fertilization value when you mulched. But anyways, we're going to start down here on this corner with our power harrow, because we're power farmers. I don't know where I was going with that. What do you think about using a map? No, using, yeah, not a map. Using our guidance steering. That does not look right at all. I don't think it's picking up the correct width. I'm assuming that's a 3 meter. I have to believe. Power harrow is indeed 3 meters. I wonder why that's not picking up on that. That's interesting. This is in feet. Oh, wait. Brad. Once again, you have proven your silliness. I will put it lightly. It is picking it up, the 9.84 feet. Yeah. I'm not even going to go into why I wasn't catching on to that one, for the sake of not looking more foolish than I already do. Alright, that looks pretty good. Actually, our line can go over to the left a little bit, but this field, I think, kind of squirts in and out a little bit, so we're gonna stick with that. Let's lower our implement. Let's turn it on. And let's get to it. I was watching some power harrowing. That sounds interesting. I was watching a farmer doing some power harrowing. I think he was a Irish farmer, or yeah, I think he was an Irish farmer. And in fact, the power harrow he was using was very much like this. It might have even been this one, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, boy, that field does turn out, doesn't it? I thought it did. We'll come back and nab that edge along the way somewhere here. But anyways, he was using a power harrow like this, and he was showing kind of how it was breaking up, how it was really useful for breaking up large clumps of dirt on the field. I guess it does quite a nice job with that, so I thought that was kind of interesting to see. I'm not sure that I had actually ever seen a power harrow in action, but indeed I have now. Not really sure what tractor he was. I wish I remember what tractor he was using. Would have been interesting to remember that. I do forget what tractor though he had it connected to. It wasn't a very large tractor, if I remember correctly. And, I'm just thinking, in real life, this thing, what, shows 3 meters, so what was it picking up, 9.8 feet? And that's not that bad, is it? That's a story, that's a full building story tall. So I guess it's not, it's funny because I guess I bring that up because I always think like, oh, 3-meter cultivator, 3 meters, like whoop-de-doo, right? But really, I mean, still pretty close to 10 feet. That's not too shabby. In real world, I guess it depends on how much acreage you got to go through. I'm always amazed at watching YouTube farmers. No, we're not. I'm not. No. I'm gonna get that stuff there. That's gonna bug me if I don't get it. Thank you. That was gonna bug me. Usually I don't care too much, but that little bit right there, that's like when I shave my head and I miss a spot. And I can feel it on the pillow. Yeah, I got to get up. I've literally gone to bed. It's late at night, and I'm feeling this little scratch on the back of my head, and I'm like, oh, really? I missed a spot. I got to get up and I got to get it because it's going to drive me crazy because now my brain is like focused on it, But the one thing I do like about watching farmers, real life farmers, is just watching them talk about the technology that is in farming these days and how much technology has gone into farming, and that's quite interesting to me to hear and to see how deeply entrenched technology is now in farming. And these farmers, I'm always impressed with. I mean, it's just, I don't even know how to put this. Farmers, I think if you talk to people in general and you said, hey, boy, this is gonna be a tough subject. But I just stay with me and don't judge. But I think maybe it was years ago, but typically you would say farmers in general, it's not your highly educated job, right? It's not like, and I'm comparing it to jobs like, if you're a doctor or a lawyer or a scientist or something along those lines where you've had years of education. And then you look at the farming as a job, and people would generally, I would say, state, it's probably not a need for high education. But I got to tell you, these days I'm looking at these farmers, and you can't be no dummy if you're a farmer these days. I guess you can be, but I don't think you are certainly going to be as successful a farmer as the ones that are no slouches. And some of these farmers, it's a lot to learn, especially with this integrated technology and stuff. And I watch them go through all the setup they have to do for the GPS, and then everything they have to know mechanically for their tractors. And then that's not even touching on all of the details and information you have to know for governmental stuff, the red tape, the nonsense that the government loves to just pour on. It's just insane to me, and I have to wonder sometimes why people even want to be farmers these days, with just how much effort it takes off the field, let alone the work that it takes on the field. And I just have so much respect for people in agriculture, and specifically with farmers who have had to, and it can't be easy. Like, I look at my job, and it's not easy to stay current with tech. I can't imagine as a farmer how difficult it would be to stay current, not only with tech, but with all of the, like I said, all of the, I don't know, what do you call it, the laws and legislations, the legislation that goes into this, and the bureaucracy that goes along with this. And I get that some things have to be in place. I get that, but you know, it's tough. It's tough to know a balance. You know, it's tough to have a balance, I would say, but I have a ton of respect for farmers and the work that they do, and yeah, a lot of stress too, I would imagine. A lot of stress, but so yeah, just watching, you know, just going back to the platinum pack. I thought it was kind of interesting. Okay, again, man, I forgot to look, but I swear I saw an old Volvo truck, semi-truck, not the newer Globetrotter style, but an older one. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I swear I saw that cab over. Are there 2 Volvo cab overs in the new Platinum DLC? I'll have to look. But in general, you know, just watching, I was watching Daggerwin. He was one of the YouTubers that had, you know, the pre-release and stuff. And he was doing some logging. And he said something along the lines of, yes, you know, for those who are wondering, you know, this new map has fields. And he showed them. And I think the new map only has a handful of fields. I think it, from what I remember seeing, is it like 6 or 7 fields? Like pre-made fields? For farming, you know? I thought that was kind of interesting. And kind of an interesting thing that Giants is doing. I mean, this is farming simulator. And I don't think you can argue at all that the Platinum DLC is certainly not focused on farming. You know, it is most definitely focused on logging. And I've seen a few comments in the forums along those lines as well. And I guess it just depends on your stand that you take. You know, do you like to see the expansion in the game in other areas other than quote-unquote farming, you know? And I can see both sides. I definitely can. One argument I would say for the side that says, yeah, absolutely, you know, let's expand, is we do have animal husbandry. And even though a lot of times the animals that we have in Farming Simulator, I would say arguably go hand in hand with farming in general, from the purist, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm hitting the wrong buttons. That's what I'm doing. From the purest sense of the word, animals are arguably not farming, right? I mean, it's animal husbandry, it's ranching and cattle. At least, you know, I would say, you know, farming is farming. It's what we're doing here. It's you know, pretty basic as far as the definition goes. It's, you know, working with the soil, planting, harvesting. And I just think it's interesting that Giants has dedicated their largest, by far, update and addition to the game, not to farming, but to logging. Interesting. Now, I've only played one other logging game, lumberjack game, and is it Lumberjack Simulator, I think it's called? And I was not super impressed with it. Visually, it didn't look as nice as Farming Simulator. It wasn't certainly as mature as this game is, which I can understand because I think it was a pretty... I think it was in its first release, if I remember correctly. But I just get the sense that Giants it wants this to be a one-stop shop for simulators that are associated with outdoor work. Is that a good way to put it? You know, the farming, the animal husbandry, the logging. I completely believe that they're going to be introducing some form of construction. What would you say? Like, how would you put that? Like terraforming. You know, like the Terrafarm mod is. I would find it very unbelievable that on the next version, a little bit of race going on here between us and that M8 over there. But I would definitely imagine that that's what we're going to see in 25. Is I think that's going to be one of the big focuses. Hey, buddy, good to see you, man. Doing okay? Looks like you're cruising along. Got a mile or two on us. Yeah, that's right. That's right. But it would be shocking to me if the race is on. It would be shocking to me if on the next version of Farming Simulator, the focus was not on some type of... Man, I think I was slower on that turn. I think if this was a swimming match, I would have just got smoked. That 25 won't focus, that the focus will be on something like that, you know. I think that'll be a big introduction in 25, but I could be completely wrong, but I don't know. It seems like we're going that way. Introduction of Volvo with all that equipment. They've got so many things they can do with that brand. It'll be interesting to see. No doubt about it. Just don't forget about your bread and butter, I would say, Giants. Don't forget about your core, which is farming. And I think I might be in the minority, and I'm willing to accept that. I do think I'm in the minority when it comes to what I like to see in the game, or how I would like to see the game progress a little bit. I think there are more people out there that would rather see additions to the game, like more animals and more crops and things like that. I think that's the majority consensus, and I'm certainly not against that. I think it's just I would like to see a finer tuned game. You know, that's the focus, and I think something like that needs to come. Maybe, you know, like in between major releases. So, you know, maybe we get this Platinum DLC, and then I would love to see in mid to late 23, if that's what it takes, for Giants to release an update that just has multiple enhancements to what's already here in the game. That's what I would love to see. But that doesn't sell games, you know? At least I don't think it does. I don't think that sells games. I think you're not going to get, you know, you can't advertise to people who aren't playing the game, hey, buy a copy of Farming Simulator, we just enhanced it. You know? I just don't think that's not going to sell games, you know? What's going to sell games is, hey, come buy a copy of Farming Simulator, we just added baby animals to the game, you know. So yeah, it will be interesting. Either way, I'm looking forward to see where this game continues to go and how it continues to develop. It's come such a long ways since, you know, even since 15, let alone 13 and before, and it's just cool to see that progression. If you have an opportunity to And if you own some of the older versions, like the 2011, and maybe even earlier, shoot, even 2013, load that bad boy up, and I am going to get out of this dude's way because I don't think he's going to stop for us. I don't think he would have stopped for us. I think he was just like, move it or lose it, sister. That's what I think it was. Let's run over and just see how this other side looks. I'm not really sure. We'll make sure that the field has been completely taken care of. It looks like it has. It looks like the hired hand did a fine job here. Very, very nice. You turn off GPS. I guess it was confirmed that Clarkson's Farm Season 2 is coming out. If you have any interest in that series, I guess it will be out. From what I heard, it's going to be out in early 23, I believe is what my understanding is. So I think they said like March, April time frame. And I'm really looking forward to that too. And it'll be different this season because he's gone through that initial, learn the basics of farming stuff, and it'll be interesting to see what he does. I guess some of the early information is that he's going to be expanding his store, and possibly even expanding who he sells his products to and stuff. So I think that'll be a fun watch for sure. Let's bring our M8 back home here too. Maybe give it a wash and check maintenance on it to make sure it's up to snuff. I was gonna test to see, I think I know the answer, but I was gonna test and throw down some fertilizer on this grass area here and see if that has any. I don't think it does though, because I think this is just meadow grass. Yeah, I think it's just meadow grass. So I don't think fertilizing it will help at all. But then I seem to remember, and maybe it has something to do with whether it's precision farming or not, but I seem to remember seeing a video on YouTube several months ago. Whoops, actually I did want to do a little wash, didn't we? Where somebody had tested that and thrown some fertilizer down on meadow grass versus planted grass, field grass. And I thought it did make a difference. I thought it did. Kind of curious. Somebody was asking, I left in the comments, but I just wanted to let y'all know, somebody did ask about this case, and this is Custom Modding's case IH pack, in case you're wondering. It's out in the Giants Mod Hub, and it is cross-platform, so really, really, really nice case harvester pack if you're looking for a case harvester. Definitely check that out. Leave them some feedback on the Giants Mod Hub too. It's the in-game Mod Hub. You can find it out there. And you can also find our garden hose right there where I just ran it over. Let's park this bad boy. Let's check maintenance on it real quick. Not too bad. 81 bucks for the tractor, $4 for the cultivator, and just for fun, yes, we are at $30,000 for a paint job, because that makes complete sense. No, I'm not going to rant about that yet. No. You all know how I feel about paint jobs and that nonsense. $30,000 if it was a, Maybe if it was a BMW or something, but... And isn't a lot of this stuff on tractors plastic? Isn't a lot of this stuff plastic? Like colored plastic? Maybe not. Maybe it's primed plastic and they still have to paint it. Probably. Yeah, that probably makes more sense. But still, 30 grand. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Come on, get clean. Wow, this thing was dirty. There you go. Now you're starting to get clean. Zestfully clean. That's what I want. I want our equipment to be not just clean, but zestfully clean. Oh, I'm going to hear that song in my mind now. You're not fully clean unless you're zestfully clean. Yeah, well, that's bad. That's going to be a bad earwig now. Oh, boy. All right, so we dropped that bad boy off. We can check the maintenance on our Power Hero real quick, too. Oh, wow, a couple bucks. Not too shabby. 136 on the little M6. Get that taken care of as well. Probably a good place to stop this episode. Our fields have been harrowed up or stubble tillaged according to what we see on our map. And we have prepared for planting. I actually had this guy out here before I started recording, just doing some testing with this planter and this particular stubble tillage texture. It's just interesting to me, I guess. Like I see this here, and this is what Giants is calling a seed bed. Now, I think I've talked about this before on episodes before. Seed beds are amazingly confusing to me, incredibly confusing, because I went down that rabbit hole. I bought every single implement, every cultivator, every harrow, every plow, and I went to town and tried to find the right combinations for what makes a seed bed. And I thought it would be easy. I thought it would be kind of a no-brainer, and it was it was far from that. But this is a seed bed, and this is a seed bed, and this is a seed bed. What's funny is this was a path. I'm gonna guess, is it a dirt path? Yeah, it's a dirt path basically. And this was also this dirt here, so the same stuff that's used on the path. So for some reason, plowing over that gave us a seed bed. Maybe partially because I used a cultivator as a plow. That might have something to do with this as well. And it probably does, would be my guess. Because when we joined these fields, we didn't get a plow texture, did we? We got we got this texture instead. But it's interesting, though, going over with the cultivator as a cultivator, that this is still different textures through here. Is this always going to be a different texture until maybe we plow everything? That may be what's going to happen as well. Or maybe after we seed it, it might change. That might happen. I was going to test that. I forgot to do that. And that's what I brought this thing out here for, to do, but just kind of forgot. I think I got interrupted and forgot to do it, but anyways, so the plan is from here, I would say, is we are going to probably scooch into August relatively soon, so we can decide what we want to plant in these fields, and we can also harvest field 10. It is waiting to be harvested next month, I guess. I'm thinking corn up here on field 2. And then this big guy here, we can do wheat or barley. Well, even canola if we wanted to. We could do sorghum again on 10 if we so choose. Kind of whichever way the wind blows, I guess. Yeah, it seemed like there was something else. Our animals are doing okay. And I know we've got even more wool over there by our sheep that we're going to need to tend to as well. Only other thing I could think of was on our last harvest, we had barley. We harvested barley and some wheat, and I'm just looking at sell dates here. So we're not going to be selling those until December anyways, so those can stay siloed up for the time being. I know I'm forgetting something. I feel like I am, but I'll remember it, and we'll deal with it on the next episode. Wednesday. Let's just go check one more thing real quick. Over here, where is our bunker silo? We should be pretty close to fermentation, I would think. We are indeed fermented up. So, yeah, I think that's probably what we're going to be working on next episode is this guy. That actually fits in time-wise really well because we really don't have anything else we can do the rest of July unless we do a contract, which, or this guy. Yeah. Let's tackle this bunker silo the next time we're together. That sounds like a plan. We'll see how the little Kubota does with that thing, and if we need to lease a bigger wheel loader or something just to make it be a little bit more time effective. But until then, hey, thanks everyone for joining me once again here. I do really appreciate it. Enjoy your Tuesday. And if so, and you purchase the Platinum Pack, enjoy playing with that. Let me know what your thoughts are on that if you'd like. Leave a like if you like the video. That really helps the channel. Subscribe if you'd like to. Take care of yourselves. More importantly, let's take care of each other. And I will see you back here tomorrow, Wednesday, back here on Kubota Farm. See you, everyone.